So a lot of people are thinking that I've done some plastic surgery or this
jaw
and that.
surgery and all that.
I've not done any kind of plastic surgery. And the photo that's coming across, I saw that picture. I wish my skin was as flawless as it was in that picture. 8-9 years back, I've done little filler in this portion because it was really short for me, and I wanted to. It just gave me confidence.
Yeah.
You know, it boosted my confidence. And why not? You know, if it's available, each to his own. If it has helped me in my, and also it has helped me in my career. Now when I meet people, they're like, oh wow, you look so nice, you look so handsome. And I used to go for auditions and they would give me some part audition. Okay, you know, you do this and I said, can I try for the lead part? Like, without saying it, but I know what they meant. So a lot of people commented on how a lead actor should look. But I didn't take it to my heart, of course.
A lot of people said that you used to be a writer of Masti and this and that. People forget that used to run my house, right? And I used to work because I
These
do
are successful films. There's an
yeah,
audience
they're
out there
successful
who want to
films,
watch it,
and I'm not. I'm very proud of Masti. A lot of people say it's a sex comedy, but people like Sooraj Barjatya after seeing Masti called me and said, I want to work with you. You come and write for me, and I swear this is a fact.
Hello everybody, I'm Rudwani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. My guests today are people who continue to inspire so many of us through their work, through the stories they choose to tell. The actor particularly has inspired us through his journey. Besides being talented, he also makes sure he chooses those stories that we absolutely love and get inspired from. Of course, talking about the team of Srikanth, Rajkummar Rao and of course Tushar. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Rudwani.
But I meant in the introduction, both of you, I think, ideologically भी एक match है, and Raj also I've seen tends to work with people where there is a certain amount of like-mindedness and ideological match कि यार इस तरह से कहानी बताएंगे, इससे भी ज़्यादा इस तरह की कहानियाँ choose करेंगे. Tushar also, you've of course Saand Ki Aankh, we all know. Choose stories like this, work with people who understand your sensibilities. पर मुश्किल होता है ना इस industry में, especially in a time like this where you see in theatrical, all big budgets are going for action films and stuff like that. So tell me, how have you been able to match this?
Oh, I think it's very simple. Just listen to your heart. Be a part of a story that you really want to be a part of, and not for any other misleading, solution or misleading benefit and that you want out of that film. We both love this story. We both love this character and the journey, and we thought, let's make it together. And I'm very glad that he thought of me to play Srikanth, because as an actor, I'm always looking for challenging parts. I'm looking for parts that that could push me as an actor, push me out of my comfort zone. And Srikanth totally gave me that opportunity, and I didn't want to miss it. I worked, of course, very hard for it. It was not an easy character to play, but that's the fun of it,
For me, if you ask me, like you said, it's going to be hard. Yeah. Now for my next film to not work with him again, it's going to be really hard, because there are some, like for a director, there's an actor who can act, which is brilliant at. But more than that, when you get a person who's even better than his acting, is very rare, and that combination becomes great. So for me and Nidhi, after working with Raj, it's going to be really tough for a next film who to cast.
Raj, like I was telling, today you have become this brand, right? You're big, and you started off, we've known each other for a while. I know how hard you work to be where you are. And when you reach this position, it becomes even harder because people around you tell that, up to now you have to become bigger. If you want to hit that super stardom, no, please, like you have to do this kind of film, have to be about a project. Projection बहुत ज़रूरी है actor के लिए. You have managed to navigate through those conversations pretty well, but it's very tempting, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to be like, मैं और massy बनूँ या मैं और ये करूँ?
It's easy, as I said. I think it's up to you. These are your decisions. You make them. They make or break you. And if it goes wrong, then you are the only one to be blamed. So at least I would rather do films that I believe in, that I know that I can be proud of even after 10, 20, 50 years. I want to be part of such stories, and not something which is so fickle, which is just for the weekend, which I know I would hate being on that set, but I would know that it's such a senseless story. I don't know why we are making it, because somebody said this might make a lot of money at the box office. That should not be the reason to tell a story. It is, especially for me, acting is an art form. It's art. It's pure. It comes from a very pure intentions. So I cannot do that to myself, because I won't be able to forgive myself if I just keep doing that. But especially now, films like these are also doing well at the box office. I think our audience they've always been ready. They are even more ready now to watch such films, to be inspired, to tell to see a great story on screen.
12th fail did so
12th
well.
fail, exactly. So I think, yeah, so now's the right time to make these films for theatres.
You know, he mentioned the importance of also putting this out in the theatres, the kind of backing. You have a massive production house here pushing this everywhere. But films that are great in content, people like to discuss about it, are not pushed in the way the other films are. The kind of money put in marketing and stuff like that. How have you maneuvered through this discussion over the years? Because you've seen, it must have been a fight for you as well.
See, I don't know if you know that I used to be a part of those films that you were talking. Yeah, so I've seen that side also.
Correct.
Not that I didn't, but so me and my wife, who's my producer also, we have this conscious decision that we want to make films that, like he said, we want to make those films that will be remembered by. We've done it all. We have done it all. So of course, we need backing of Bhushanji, and of course, we need backing of actors like Raj sir, and so then that makes us, people like them, makes us believe that we can do it. If the people like them are not there, then it's going to be like, it took me almost 5 years to make Saand Ki Aankh, to cast it. And a lot of people had accused me then that why didn't you take
older?
Yeah, and that was a big discussion. But to be honest, when it comes to, thanks for asking me this question, because when it comes to doing the real way, I really wanted to cast older women, but I was not getting the budget. Then you cannot make a film without a budget, right? People have to understand that. It's also that, like you said, you have to make films that it reaches the theatre. I don't want to make a film that I can only see in my house and just enjoy myself. That's the whole point. And I want people to see the films also. It's not only like today when people say that I think I make massy films also. This Srikanth is a massy film for me. Yeah. I don't know what is massy, what is classy for me. For me is if any film that moves you and touches you, or you clap and you cry, is massy. So that's what I try to do. That's the way I want to make films. So that's what it is.
Because you said that, I'm going to bring Raj here. I remember discussing this in the little bit of this when I met you for the trailer launch. And I mentioned this, that he makes sure कोई भी किरदार हो, कोई biopic हो, वो hero वाली entry. When we talk about Masti, we exactly know what people mean.
Yeah.
वो जो like people like Shah Rukh, Salman, they get that kind of entry. उनकी जो यहाँ पे theatre में whistles हो रही है वो. It doesn't matter who the actor is for you. I've seen like आप characters को उस तरह की entry देने की कोशिश करते हो. और वो एंट्री देने की कोशिश में मुझे लगता है what you try to, the film itself becomes more commercial, which is very interesting.
So I think it's the way the director sees the film. It's his treatment, his or her treatment, how they want to portray the character.
Sure.
Like अगर चाहिए उसमें ऐसा कुछ moment बन रहा है बहुत बड़ा कि जहाँ पर entry ऐसी होनी चाहिए, तो I'm sure the director would do that. But it's not my job. It's not my position to tell somebody how to shoot the film. We are all following the director's vision. It's a director's medium. Filmmaking is a director's medium.
Thank you, sir.
It is, sir. It is a given fact.
Among the few actors who say this?
No, it is totally.
He is among the few actors. Tushar.
So you have to surrender to your director's vision. You cannot, command things because you want it to be massy.
That you have to give it to him on the sets, everything. He's just brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question basically was not from the perspective of like how other films like how this treatment also helps to make the film bigger. Like you see the reaction the trailer got, cut to what treatment could have been different. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. A different maker would have had a different approach to the same story, and that's why it's so interesting. A different actor would have had a different take on this character. I think that's why each to his own. I think you have to follow your vision, you have to follow your gut feeling, how you are seeing the film. And then like with Tushar, I know he would still make it commercial. It's not commercial. By commercial I mean like it's for everyone. It's not for any selective audience that people like I'm that audience who would like to watch a slow burner also, and I would totally cherish that. But I'm sure there's so many people out there who would get bored out of those films. So he's somebody who's kept that balance very well. It's a very realistic film. Everything that is happening is believable, that can happen, but the tonality, the color palette, the music is for everyone. That's why I think it's very interesting, this balance.
Music hai entry पे बहुत बड़ा.
I love it. Whistles in the theaters for sure. पर अब क्या आप completely detach कर पाते हो, like when you're moving on from one set to the other, or does the remnant effects थोड़ा रह जाता है? Because you've been through so much of a journey. I saw you with Srikanth and I felt like you almost submitted yourself to the story?
No, in that process, of course, during those 2-3 months, whatever time period that's there while shooting, you have to be that part. You cannot think about other things. You cannot think about, oh, maybe wo script shuru hone wali hai, let me work on that also. No, you cannot do that. So my whole focus was just Srikanth and to be in that character throughout the filming process. Once it's done, it's out of my system. I take that break of whatever weeks I take and then move on to the next one. I do one film at a time so that I can give my 100% to that character with full sincerity and honesty. And that's the only way I would always continue. You cannot mix up, two characters because these are two different individuals.
Tushar, you've like you said, you got Tapsi and Bhumi during Saand Ki Aankh, and a very interesting conversation that I had with them came up. You work with actors who put their ego aside and are just the character. But there is the other side to the story as well, and they said that particularly when you do female-driven films, it is so difficult to cast the male actor, hoping that you get, if you cast someone slightly more popular, it helps you get the audience there. Saand Ki Aankh was such a problem, and they both discussed saying that, they're not projected that way. They want to say, oh, nice, you're making films like that. Is that a problem that you have genuinely, of course, faced, and how do you sort of deal with that?
Actually, that's quite interesting when you ask me that, because in my first film, like I said, it took me 5 years. So the male character, we were not getting the Sarpanch.
Yeah.
In the end, we had to cast Prakash Jha, who's not an actor, right? Suddenly we had this idea because all the actors that I was getting I was not getting happy with it. So then I thought let's get someone unique, and it worked out for us. I think it did. But in this film, I'll be very honest with you. In this film, obviously COVID came in the middle, so we started pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, so then we got stuck. But in this film, it is great because you won't believe this. So every time the story, I don't know what the story had, or what this film was about. Maybe Raj Bhai, when I went, he said, damn good. Obviously, we had I always go to an actor and I say, this is a script and we can work around it and all. That's my process. That we work. But he said yes to the film. Similarly, Jyotika, actually, this is the first comeback film. I signed her before Shaitan. This was the first film to come out, but we took time to release it. So Jyotika also, she just instantly said yes. Sharad Kelkar on one go. Sharad Kelkar has gone way ahead of what he has done with us in this film. He's really helped us great. And even Alaya. So it was very easy to cast this film, to be honest. Like I said, in this film, it was a dream. Like in one go, the best part what Rajbhai does is that he shoots in one go, which helped us so much budget-wise or everything, because we had to shoot for 65 days, and it was so much fun because all the actors were so good and so well prepared that we finished in 41 days. So it was great. So this film was a breeze for us. But after that film, there was a lot of things. But before that, while shooting, it was great fun. This film, I don't know, I think maybe Saand Ki Aankh did help me, that people had trust in me and this kind of film can be pulled off. Before that, I stood at Masti and all that. So people might not believe that I could pull it off. Yeah, but now they thought that I can. So that's what it is.
Raj, we were talking about the obsession, like you said, the obsession with numbers today. Whether it's social media, whether it's box office, whether it's how many views your trailer has gotten. But there is a huge discussion about, can that really supersede what people are genuinely feeling? आज के ज़माने में आप इस conversation को कैसे देखते हैं? Understanding what the audience's reception towards good content is. इसको आप कैसे तोलते हैं?
I think you get an idea with the trailer. The kind of response we are getting with Srikanth is overwhelming, to be honest. Because people that haven't called me maybe in a couple of years have started calling me, and not like we were not in touch, like we've always been friends, but directors, I'm talking about like big directors, they have been calling me that, this looks,
let's take some names.
Of course, no, I won't take the names.
But we all have loved your trailer, there's no point.
It's okay. But they are like, it's just so fascinating what you've done and what is this film, so excited to watch it, and the messages I'm getting, on my social media, Instagram. So people are genuinely loving the trailer. They are not bots. The views are not bots. It's very authentic, just like the film. So the kind of love we are getting for the film is true love. People are themselves getting excited about it and sharing in their WhatsApp groups. I've got messages from my friends, back in Gurgaon, that भाई randomly लोग तेरा trailer, हमारे जो बहुत सारे groups होते हैं सबके ना, उनमें आ रहा है trailer. So which is a great sign that people are forwarding the trailer to the other person to see. Have you seen this? This looks so interesting.
No, fascinating. And of course, on the other side, you have Mr. and Mrs. Mahi also released.
Yeah.
It looks like, again, it's going to be the year of Rajkummar Rao, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Tell me
hope
a few
so.
more things that kind of, that show how diverse you've chosen as well. Srikanth, of course, being among them.
Well, yeah, they're all very different films. Srikanth and then Mr. Mrs Mahi, which is such a beautiful film. I'm again very proud of it as well. Then there's Stree Part 2. Nothing.
Course.
The name itself is enough. Then there's Vicky Vidya Ka Wo Wala Video, which is I would say my hardcore, very very commercial comedy film. You know, it's hardcore comedy. It's damn funny. That's me and Tripti Dimri. So I think 4 very different kind of films. And that's how I would love for it to be, because, you know, as an actor, that's what I want. I want to play characters in all these different films with different makers.
Have said that when you say no to certain roles in bigger production houses, it becomes problematic for you. Even though, like, you say it politely. Knowing you had to say a lot more no's in the recent years than yeses, and they are important, right? Yeah. How do you deal with the egos that come in the industry when you want to stay to your path?
Yeah, no, saying no is always tougher than saying yes. Nobody wants to listen to a no. But I often say no more than I say yes. But you have to be honest. I think you just have to genuinely, that's what I do. I just honestly tell them that, you know, the way you are seeing this film, I'm not seeing this film. And there's no point for me to come half-heartedly and do this. It won't be, you know, it won't be good for you or for me as well. So better that we don't do this one and maybe something else together, because my heart is not allowing me to, you know, say yes to this story.
Have the no's ever impacted your career in that way?
I don't think so.
Not yet, because you have a very tactful way of saying it.
No tactful, I think just be honest. I think ghumao mat. The problem is when you take a script and take 3 months and then you say no. It's better to get a script, read it in 2-3 days max, and then revert back, because time is very important for everyone. Somebody is waiting for your reply so that at least they can move on and look for someone else.
And also एक important चीज़ है, जब ये ना बोलता है, फिर इसका जो काम आता है बाहर, the kind of work he does, it all get people realize कि ना क्यों बोला. So that's also important.
Disabilities को यहाँ usually movies में, you know, एक बेचारे point of view से दिखाया जाता है. यहाँ पे किरदार, I mean, we saw you know, Srikanth during the trailer, and we realized why you so full of life, an amazing man. But you must have seen that the treatment in a lot of films have been sometimes problematic, sometimes very from that point of view. In the conception part only, how did you sort of realize you're going to present the film?
In fact, you answered my question in the start. You said that I portray my characters like heroes, right? That's what I do. Maybe Saand Ki Aankh, I knew this too. I was making a film about 2 old ladies, or maybe a novel with a visually impaired. But when I met them, they are. It's not like I'm portraying them. They actually are that people. Yeah. So when I met those 2 80-year-old ladies, and I was around 45, and they used to walk faster than me when I've gone to. So my point is that they are actually heroes. It's not that I'm doing that. I choose characters like these because they are heroes. So when you say that I'm trying to make them heroes, I'm not. They are heroes, and that's how I make my film. I pick up these characters who are heroes and I just present it to you. Obviously, music, dialogue add karta hai, but they are heroes. They are in fact bigger heroes than what we portray also.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You know, Raj, you've always said that in the beginning of your career, you know, people always said that, oh, you know, hero has to look a certain way. But you, I think, broke all the stereotypes back then, because they said, but you know, you'll only be doing character roles, you'll never be. Yeah. I think a lot of people today take inspiration that you were able to do that. You know, so I want your thoughts on how that was important in your journey, because you know, over the years you've heard that, and I think it's a win for all actors who are trying. Number 2 also is the obsession that internet has with the way you're changing your looks and stuff like that. Let's talk about that. You'll be the best person to talk about it.
No, of course. I've heard a lot of this. Like, you know, a lot of people have told me in person. And I used to go for auditions, and they would give me some part audition. Okay, you know, you do this, and I said, can I try for the lead part? Like, without saying it, but I know what they meant. So a lot of people commented on how a lead actor should look. But I didn't take it to my heart, of course. You know, I kept working. I thought my work would speak. My work is way more beautiful than, you know, their comments. And then the film started getting successful. And then success, of course, makes you look prettier, I guess.
I think these are the same people he's saying no to now.
No.
Yeah?
I'm not joking. No, I'm not vindictive at all.
He's not very vindictive.
Yeah, he's not
I'm not
sadly.
vindictive.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that happened. Then, of course, I know where the
Yeah,
second
this
part of your question. Yeah. So, a lot of people are thinking that I've done some plastic surgery or this
jaw
and that.
surgery and all that.
I have not. I've not done any kind of plastic surgery. And the photo that's coming across, I saw that picture. I wish my skin was as flawless as it was in that picture. It certainly is a touch-up picture. You know, I was shooting the whole day. I was not wearing any makeup. And my skin, I was like, wow, what happened to my skin? It's looking so flawless. Somebody, of course, have played with that picture. And that picture looks very weird.
I think you're like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can see.
No, saying that, of course, 8-9 years back, I've done little filler in this portion because it was really short for me. And I wanted to, it just gave me confidence. You know, it boosted my confidence. And why not? You know, if it's available, each to his own, if it has helped me in my, and also it has helped me in my career. Now when I meet people, they're like, oh wow, you look so nice, you look so handsome. And maybe it has added to that.
Yeah.
But it hasn't changed me as a person at all. You know, the
Never.
2% part of my body would not change me who I am. So just for that, just to give me some confidence, which it has, and for me to feel better about myself, why not? Like we all do that, right?
Yeah.
Like people who are thin, people go for hair transplants because they want to feel confident, they want to look a certain way, and there's no harm in that.
Yeah.
But plastic surgery? No, I have not done any kind of plastic surgery.
Well, like you said, to each his own. Because you said that. How have you dealt with stardom? Like you said, I've stayed the same, which is true. But it's difficult, right? Like with the world around you, everybody trying to never show you where you're going wrong and right. I would like to know your thoughts on that.
No, I feel very lucky that way that I have the same people around me who were there with me when I was a nobody. And they would always be very honest with me. I would never ever keep yes men around me.
Sure.
Everybody has all the authority to come and tell me anything. And we all discuss everything, especially Patruleka. I think she's my biggest critic. And I'm very happy that she's there in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't see stardom means that you need to change yourself or there's something else you need to do to just because you're a star. It's a perception, right? It's not a fixed thing that you get that here now you're a star. This is a trophy. It's a perception. It comes with success. Your films work, you become a star. Your films don't work, people forget you. So I think I don't take any kind of tag seriously. I just want to keep working. I just want to. Because I love it. I love being an actor. I always saw this dream for myself.
Yeah.
And it's a very personal journey for me. It was not about proving any point to anyone. It's something which gave me happiness and it's still giving me immense happiness. So I would continue that way.
I love it. Okay, the last segment. We have some quick questions for y'all. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. I will ask you a separate question. If it's same, I'll tell it's same for you. Okay. First, the similar questions. A question for both of you is, which is one film from your work that you're extremely proud of?
Touchwood, I feel very lucky that I have so many films that I am very, very proud of.
But whatever first comes in your mind.
No, can't say really.
Okay, few bol do.
Few में तो फिर बहुत हैं. शाहिद है, City Lights, Trap, Newton, Stree, बधाई दो, Srikanth, and I'm sure I'm forgetting few, but yeah.
Do you see? This is such a enviable sort of body of work in that way. Like he can say so many. Okay, what about you?
I actually am proud of all the work I've done. I'll be very honest to you. There are situations why a person works for what you are doing. I'll be very honest, it's a very sensitive question for me because a lot of people said that you used to be a writer of Masti and this and that. People forget that I used to run my house, right? And I used to work because I
These are successful films.
They're successful films and I'm not, I'm very proud of Masti. A lot of people say it's a sex comedy, but people like, Sooraj Barjatya, after seeing Masti, called me and said, I want to work with you, you come and write for me. And I swear this is a fact. And he said that all people are seeing this film as a sex film, but in the end you're shown, which happens, that men cheat and then they go back to their wives and they say sorry to their wives. Is a big lesson. So people never saw that. They just saw, people just see that sex film and you get tagged, and but they didn't see the actual story. It had a story. Sure. So I'm proud of all the work that I've done. Even as a director, may it be Saand Ki Aankh or Srikanth now. So I'm just proud of the work. Scam, very proud of that too. So I'm proud of the work I've done.
Scam is absolutely fantastic.
Thank
so
you.
you must be. But no, I love that answer. I love the honesty in it. Okay, what is one misconception about you that people who don't know you have decided? And of course, that's not true.
People think I'm this really serious, not not snobbish, but very serious, intense guy, which I'm not.
Which he's not. What about you, Tushar?
People think I'm actually not serious and I'm not. People think I'm funny and actually I'm not. I'm actually serious.
So basically, swap ho gaya misconceptions aur ek dusre ke bare mein.
You ask him on the set, it's like that. Even I just sit in one corner and don't go to lunch and I
Yeah.
make sure the work gets over. For me, that's most important.
Artists get a lot of unwanted advices at times. Which is that unwanted advice that you did not take and you're very happy about?
Same only, the certain kind of films you should definitely do, you know, otherwise how will it happen? Like,
That. What about you?
I want to say this and I'll take the person's name because you're a very dear friend and I'm sure he'll not mind it. It's Madhu Mantena. So Phantom signed me as a director and I was a writer of quite successful films then and I knew actors and Madhu being a producer said that Tushar, why do you want to make a film about two old ladies? Then I was, like I said, it was about two old ladies and I wanted to cast two senior actors and he said that you know actors like Varun and Siddharth and you can easily go to them and they will work with you. I know that and if I come with you, let's make a film. But I didn't. I wanted to make Saand Ki Aankh. That's the film that really touched my heart and that's the film I believed in. And he went along with my belief. He said, obviously, if you want to, I'll still support you. But he was a producer, he was a friend, he told me that.
Correct.
And today when he saw, in fact, when he saw the promo of Srikanth, he called her, because my wife was to work for Quan and she was heading Quan as she called up Nidhi and he said that I'm so proud of you and Tushar to follow your heart and you all have made great films. Keep on making these kind of films only. So it's a great thing for me that, you know, it just turns it around.
Rajesh, which is one of the weirdest audition that you've ever given as an actor? It can be funny, it can be weird, but it was weird.
Weird. Yeah, long back somebody asked me to, I was reading for something, I was like enacting a scene and then that person said, can you do the same thing like a monkey? I was like, what? I was like, where's the connection? Like doing like a regular dialogue scene and then do it like a monkey? Of course I did it. But I don't know if he was just having fun with me or he was serious about it. Yeah, but that was weird.
I'll tell you one more story because Sumit, right? I think he's told you this.
Okay.
So Sumit, when he came, he was working with the casting director, and they called him for an audition. And he keeps on telling me this, and he's saying we called Raj for a particular part, and that was supposed to be a funny part. But this guy walks in there, he did it so serious, but we burst out laughing. But he took it in a different way, and he killed it. And obviously that film didn't happen, but we knew that this actor is deadly. So he actually took a funny part and made it to scenes, but it was so funny the way he did it.
Okay, I have more questions, but I'll wrap it. But because you said this, I want to say even in Stree, he actually, the fear that he's showing is genuine fear.
Yeah.
And when he's saying, Bicky, please, there is a frustration. It's just that he has that ability, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of true. Most scenes, I think you try to say, you give that thing, let me try this way, isn't it? Like when it comes to comedy.
I do. Yeah, I try to improvise a lot. I try to add. I tend to add a lot of things here and there. But yeah, once I think in the moment you're truthfully present in the moment, it comes naturally to you. Don't have to think about it.
So more Bicky pleases with Shraddha in Stree too?
Of course.
Of course. On that note, thank you so much. I really had a wonderful chat with the two of you.
Thank you, Rudra.
And both of you know that I really enjoyed your trailer. I will 100% watch the film.
Thank you.
Let's celebrate Srikanth a little more.
Yes.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.